They say staying off-site saves you money, but is that the whole story? Well, if you haven't guessed by that intro, we're staying off-site today. Before we talk about what hotel we're staying at and what you need to know when staying off-site, we gotta make our way to the park. We're hoofing it, guys. Let's go on an adventure. Hey, Ben, do you know how to get to the parks?
We'll figure it out. Impeccable sense of direction. I think we should let you lead the way.
I looked at a map ahead of time, but still.
You and maps don't mix.
No. There's the parking garage. We can see.
I want to be there.
We want to be
over there.
Over there. But our path is taking us this way. We want to go there.
We're over here.
But we're over here.
There.
Oh, never mind. We don't need to go through the main security hub. They've got one over here at the valet drop-off area. We'll get through security, we can't record there, and then we'll tell you a little bit about what you need to know when staying off-site. Hey everyone, Ben and Bob here, and today we're at Universal Orlando, but we mixed it up. We're staying off-site, and it's not because we decided to, we were forced to.
It was so busy this weekend that as we were planning this trip, every single hotel was booked. We will show you our room here in a little bit, and I will be honest with you, I'm a little scared to do so. I don't know what they are, or whose they are, but they're not ours.
There are so many hotels to stay at off-site when visiting Universal. However, how do they compare it to even the value resort when it comes to price point when you choose to stay off-site? Let's talk about it. Currently, at the hotel we're staying at, the price point per night started around $85 to $90 per night. That's pretty good. Comparative to one of the on-site value hotels here at Universal, it started at around $120 per night until we looked this weekend, and they were more like $180 a night. So, yeah, I don't mind that we're saving money, but at the same point, you get what you pay for. On top of that, you saw that we walked over to City Walk. We had other options. We could have drove and paid for parking. We could have drove and had somebody valet our car and pay for valet. Or we could have Ubered. That's nice, but we would have had to pay for that too. So we went with our favorite option, walking, which is free. If you are driving to the parks and using Universal's parking, you can expect to pay anywhere between $32 to $60 depending on the type of parking you purchase. On top of that, you also have the option to pay for valet, which can range anywhere between $32 for 2 hours to $65 to $75 for over 2 hours of valet parking. Additionally, if you have an annual pass, you do get discounts on valet parking. And Uber and Lyft, well, they vary in price depending on demand, the day, and the availability. So, it's a holiday weekend, right? Columbus Day weekend while we're filming this. We expect the parks to be busy, but we're also here the day after Milton hit. It was a heck of a drive coming down, and we weren't really sure what to expect in the parks. Milton may have helped the parks be a little less busy. We're gonna take you around with us. You're getting a twofer today. We're learning about hotels, and we're gonna see what this long holiday weekend, followed with a hurricane, feels like. One downside to staying off-site, maybe the biggest downside possible, is you don't get early park admission. Now, if you have an annual pass, that might look a little different, but for those who don't, you have to wait and enter with everybody else. We're currently here at 8:30 a.m. Early park admission started at 8 a.m. and we have 30 more minutes until we can go and explore all that is Islands of Adventure. So, we're gonna go join everybody in the cattle corrals and see how busy this place is.
Morning.
Morning!
Thank you for being here post-hurricane. We really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much. It being post-hurricane, I think we're gonna really run into one of possibly two scenarios. One, it's gonna be dead because people have other things to worry about, and we completely get that. Or two, because Universal was closed yesterday, it's gonna be a madhouse. And yet we know Floridians are just built different. So it very well might be very busy today.
Is it worth staying outside at Universal?
It can be. I will say the only times where it is beneficial, especially if you're a pass member, like right now, it's like 40% off. So you get good deals if you stay on site, but there's some really close hotels. where you can pay, half the price, if not more, for and you're right down the road from the park. So sometimes, yeah, it can be beneficial staying off-site.
We're in the general waiting space. Now, we really enjoy EPA. You're able to come in and get so many rides done before anybody else gets into the park. We love to hit up Hagrid's, Velocicoaster again, Forbidden Journey. There's a lot to be able to do and enjoy before the flood of people come in. Now, Ben mentioned that it could be really busy, it could be pretty empty. Right now, standing in this general waiting area, I think we have luck. I think that the wait times might actually be low and people haven't come to the parks yet for the day.
It is 9 o'clock, they just let us in. Velocicoaster's already an hour wait, and Hagrid's is a 2-hour wait, which just shows you how important early park admission can be.
If you haven't watched our video on how to do early park admission at Islands of Adventure, we'll link it down below. Check that out. There's one thing to do. Let's go ride Cat in the Hat. All right, we need to go figure out what do wait times look like in the park during a holiday weekend, post-hurricane. Let's mosey around Islands, see if there's other rides to jump on, and show you guys what wait times look like.
I will say, the weather post-hurricane is very nice. It's not humid. It's rather cool. I might need a sweatshirt.
Yeah, right.
And other merch. Merch is important.
I need more merch.
The other thing we haven't really considered, what are we gonna do for lunch? Because we can't go back to the hotel, because the hotel's 20 minutes away, walking.
I didn't pack sandwiches today.
That's gonna be a key decision as we move throughout our day. Lunch.
That is an important question. Although the wait times are pretty high right now in some key areas, walking through the parks doesn't feel packed, which is really nice. So not only do I kind of have free reign to walk around, it's nice and cool out too, with little humidity. I feel like a weather guy, but at the same point, this is a fantastic experience in the park so far today, aside from not doing EPA.
What adventure are you off to next? Oh, very good. Well, make sure you try a butterbeer if you get the chance. Just don't mention my name to Madame Rosamerta. I do have a tab I ran up the wall and I've been dodging them for weeks. Oh, excellent. All right, cheers, dearies.
I will say, something isn't lining up though, because Hogsmeade is like as empty as we've seen it in a long time. And Hagrid's being 120 minutes, like everybody must be in the Hagrid's queue because there is nobody out in the actual Hogsmeade area.
Velocicoaster, 100 minutes. Everybody's either waiting for Hagrid's or Velocicoaster right now. Hulk is currently unavailable, let's note that. It looks like they were rehanging the netting that hangs underneath it. Not shocking. Gotta take that down for Hurricane, right?
So we have really determined, you're either at Velocicoaster or you're at Hagrid's because Kong is 10 minutes. Jurassic Park River Adventure is closed. So if you come after a hurricane, just be prepared. There's gonna be some flux about what's open, what's not, what's super busy, what's not. We gotta come up with a better strategy.
First and foremost, the baseball Woody Woodpecker button-up, you can get that for me for Christmas. Second, they don't have any long sleeve sweatshirts or sweats for me to buy here. I think it's time to head to Studios. Forbidden Journey's delayed. Hulk's unavailable. I'm not gonna ride Dudley Do-Rides. Velocicoaster is a very high wait time as well as Hagrid's. Not the highest we've ever seen, but higher than the rest of the wait times. We're gonna make our way back around since we can't go through the Marvel area to exit Islands. Let's see what the wait time looks like for the Hogwarts Express and make our way to Studios.
Something isn't jiving. Simpsons is 50 minutes. Transformers is an hour. the crowds don't seem that bad. Like Hogsmeade is pretty empty. Like we haven't seen that big of crowds walking around, but like these wait times are astronomical. Like there's no reason Simpsons should be 50 minutes.
Are we gonna ride it?
No. Because there are other things that do not require waiting.
Like?
Haven't forgotten that we promised we will show you our room. We'll get there. I'm still a little scared to show you it. And so we're kind of delaying getting back to the hotel to show you the room, honestly.
Well, that's the other thing is like, when we go back to the hotel, we're back.
Yep.
And then we'll come back to the park. That's just a lot of extra walking.
Yeah.
Leaving the park midday is not the easiest of choices. What's the wait time for the Mummy? They're putting the stanchions out. Ooh, 50 minutes for the Mummy. Yikes, that's up there. I really don't know what's going on because the parks feel pretty empty. But Jimmy Fallon's has a 40-minute wait, and I can't find merch I want to buy right now. So many problems.
Not to mention, I am hungry. I need food. Characters are starting to come out and the crowds are as well. I mean, it is pretty normal that crowds start to pick up right around lunchtime. They'll go to mid-afternoon. However, Studios does close at 5 today, so...
Do you know how much this is?
I'm gonna go 85.
125.
How bad do you want?
I kind of wanted it.
We were so hungry that Nick and I had to leave Aubrey, but then she quickly caught up because we walked away. Food. Need food. Food.
I've yet to find something that I want to purchase that will keep me warm this evening. I found a number of items that I'd like to buy when it's warm out, where I can walk around and not be chilly. So maybe I'll find something in City Walk, or worst case scenario, I'll just get so chilly tonight I'll pull the trigger on whatever works best. In the meantime, I don't have to carry anything with me, which is really wonderful. We are over at Today Cafe. I have mobile ordered. Pro tip, if you're at the parks and it's busy, mobile order so you can get your food a little bit faster. We're just gonna grab a bite to eat, continue enjoying the park, and then finally make our way back to our hotel to take a little midday break and show you the rest of what our hotel has to offer. All right, y'all, we're hoofing it. Time to head back to our hotel room and show you where we're staying and what it looks like. My off-site hotel when staying at Universal. So, coming into this hotel room here at the Holiday Inn Express Suite, possibly? It is a pet-friendly hotel. You've got a pretty good-sized room, a smaller bathroom area than we prefer personally, but we also are spoiled when we stay like at Royal Pacific. But this hotel room, rather large. Now, it does come with your typical amenities like your bath, shower, lotions and potions and things of that nature. We have the two, I want to say they're queen beds, but laying on them, they feel more like two full beds. And the best part is you get extra accessories. I don't know whose these are, but they were left in the room for us when we got here. So I've got HHN options. This is also a dress. So if I'm feeling feisty and want to wear somebody else's clothes tonight, I can. Moving along this way, you have a good-sized TV. You've got your fridge stocked full of items that we brought. It was not full with these. We took care of that. As well as drawers, coffee machine, decent hair dryer. But it's your typical hotel room. That said, let's talk pros and cons about staying off-site at Universal. Yeah?
I feel like something's missing.
Really? Did we make it sound as like worse than it really is? I think we
Maybe.
might have made the room sound worse than it is. It's not that bad. There are a number of people at this hotel right now that have been staying here because of the hurricane. So
Yep.
I think that kind of skewed some of the perception of what we experienced when we first got here last night.
But there are definitely things you need to consider as you're contemplating whether to stay offsite or onsite.
So we have a list of pros and cons. We took some time to write these down just so we didn't miss anything.
First, pricing.
Oof.
A lot of the off-site hotels will be probably equivalent to dockside or surfside. Now, that's not always the case because of the demand-based pricing that both Universal has as well as the off-site hotels.
But you can tend to get a better bang for your buck when it comes to just the cost of a hotel in itself. If you're looking for just a space to put your head and take a shower.
Now, there might be additional costs that you have to consider. An Uber, the time that it takes to walk there to and from. Time is money, everybody knows that. And
Or paying for parking your own car if you're
Exactly.
deciding to drive from this hotel parking lot about a block over, but you
Yeah.
gotta find a place to put your car and pay Universal
we
for
definitely
that.
underestimated the complimentary transportation aspect as it pertains to staying off-site.
Oh, it's so nice. Like, having complimentary transportation via the on-site hotels at Universal is definitely something that's like underrated or easy to dismiss. And so being able to have a water taxi or a shuttle or a very friendly and safe walking path, because there was nothing wrong with the walking path getting back to this hotel,
Across
but
some-
let's
across
be
some
honest,
major roads,
if I forgot something in my room,
you're not coming back.
I'm not coming back for it, and I'm not gonna want to come back for it, especially when it gets dark out. Another piece that's a pro when it comes to staying off-site at Universal would be if you're looking to go to other parks in the area. So if you're looking to go to SeaWorld or Disney or any other Orlando area-based parks and not just Universal, it might be worth looking at staying off-site because you're not going to spend as much money here at the hotel. You're going to end up traveling to all those other locations and you're going to pay to park anyway or what have you. But the cost might end up factoring out best when visiting other parks.
Moving on to the cons, and I think one of the biggest cons, if you're trying to maximize the things you can do at Universal, is that we didn't get EPA this morning.
No.
And as you saw, Velocicoaster was an hour and Hagrid's was 2 hours as soon as we are allowed in the parks. And those are the hallmark rides, those are the pinnacle rides that you want to get done as soon as possible.
Given the tentative nature of rides today due to repurposing things, getting stuff set back off after the hurricane, it is interesting. During filming, we only ended up riding
Cat in the
Cat in the
Hat.
Hat and the
Hogwarts
Hogwarts Express. Could we have waited in line and jumped on more heights? Yes.
Sure.
But we also had a number of pieces we wanted to film, different areas
Show
we
you
wanted to
and
show
things
you.
like
And it just didn't make sense to stand in line for that long while creating this video. But also, if we weren't making this video, we definitely have, how long would we wait for particular rides? And a lot of those wait times were higher than what we would put on that list.
You're also, due to the distance, not really going to be able to take your midday break, your midday siesta if you're really trying to stay in the parks. And especially as busy as the parks were today, like there was no way if we were trying to ride rides, do the stuff that we were going to be able to come back and change and take a break before heading back into the parks later this evening.
I think something that is worth looking into is the pricing of parking and how that works as far as if we were to want to drive and park, but then leave the park and come back, because I assume we're gonna have to pay twice. And I'm not gonna try and fork over that much money, as well as paying that much to do a Uber or Lyft back and forth every single time.
You're walking.
You're walking.
And you're going to be getting your steps in. And
Yeah.
just so be prepared if you're staying off site, you're going to get
You're
even
getting
more
steps or you're spending money. The final point that we have as far as staying off site is the question, will we stay off site again?
My heart says no.
Your wallet.
My head says yes. My heart says no because we love the Universal theming. We love even I will probably stay at Dockside or Surfside probably before I want to stay off site again.
True.
But my rational head says like, oh, never say never. And so if we're doing a staycation and we want to save some money, like we very well might if we're like bouncing between here and SeaWorld and Disney or Busch Gardens or something along those lines that we are actually traveling for, like staying off site might make more sense.
I think that we will choose to stay on site as often as we can choose to stay on site. We think the Universal Orlando hotels are fantastic. There are so many perks that you receive when you're staying on site, even as simple as having that shuttle transportation to and from, that just add up so much. But I do think there's possibility, if forced again to stay off site due to hotel bookings being completely packed, which I would surmise that come Epic Universe time, hotel bookings are only going to get busier even as they add their new 3 hotels in for the Epic opening. Or if we're not staying at an on-site hotel, we'll just move down here instead. And then we'll visit and drive and park and not pay for a hotel, which that
nice
sounds
too.
pretty good as well. Like, I look forward to being able to move down here in the future.
Hopefully this has given you a bit of a glimpse into what staying off-site, pros, cons, and help you make a decision whether you want to stay off-site or whether you want to fork over a little extra money and stay on-site, even if it's at Dockside, Surfside, or one of the prime or value resorts. If you got anything out of this video, please subscribe to our Patreon. We think we have a lot of inside scoop and a lot of inside knowledge that we share over there and that you would enjoy. Thanks for watching.
Bye!
Strike 3. The shower doesn't drain. We're switching to Hard Rock.